ZZ109FM morning show. This is Elsie Jenkins here. Hopefully you're having a beautiful and wonderful, blessed time of the year. Hopefully you're not going through no drama. Lord have mercy. Mm, mm. In the studio here to help us out is Loratti. Loratti, how you doing over there?
Miss Jenkins, I'm doing good, feeling pretty good. Um, Interesting 2026 year, a lot going on the planet.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about. My goodness. Just recently, shootings, 8 children killed. We ain't talking about that today, but Lord, 8 children between 1 and 14 years old gone off the planet. We probably should be talking about it, but we got a little bit more pressing information here that's going to have to be talked about first. Also, to help us out is 10th grade education, Bob. Bob, how you doing over there?
I'm doing pretty good. A little suspicious here while we wearing these doctor outfits, but nonetheless, I'm doing pretty good.
Well, that's right. As you can see, we've got these doctor outfits on here for a reason, for a purpose. And I'm going to need you two gentlemen to go down the hall. There's someone down there waiting for you for a urinalysis test.
Oh, Miss Jenkins said what? Hey, what the hell are you talking about?
That's right, that's right. Unannounced test. I've already took my test, but I was told to tell you two to go down there and donate a little bit of urination. Excuse me. Lord have mercy.
Okay, I'm going down there. Yeah, I guess I'm going down there too, then.
All right, so they're going to go down there. They're going to take them a urinalysis test. And that's why we're here today talking about this situation here. You don't know when it's going to happen, if it happens. And you need to know about your job because your job's going to dictate what you need to be doing when it comes to this kind of situation. And while we're waiting for them to return as they give away that urine, let's go into the situation here. Now, here you are. You know, you're on the planet, and we're all trying to at least survive on this planet. Now, you have to realize that sometimes it's a trade-off. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Someone came up with that slogan many, many moons ago. And it's simply saying you want to have fun, but you don't want to give this up. You want to have this, but you still want to have this. And that's not the fact. That's not possible. Uh, it can be done to a certain extent, but we're talking about real world, real life on a real life level. It's not possible because there's too many factors today that can cause you to go into a whirlwind, and you're having the cake and eat it too. Dissolves everything you work for in your life, everything. All right, so as we are going through this story, let me set the scene up before these two suckers come back in here, and we'll find out today. Now, let me tell you something. These urinalysis tests they have today, you ain't got to wait a week or two. You will know the same day if your test is positive or negative. And you want it to be negative, because if it's positive, you got to go and talk to somebody. And usually that talking to person you talking to is usually going to tell you we appreciate you for being an employee, but we don't need you. Kind of conversation. Uh, the military, is an amazing place, but you have to follow those rules also. And one thing about the military is they gave people chances. I don't know if they do it today, but when I was in the military, they gave people chances. Okay, you tested positive, so they did some things to try to make sure you're straight. But then you can't test positive again. They just gave you a chance. Now today in certain jobs, there aren't no second chances. They don't have time or the money to rehabilitate somebody that has an issue when it comes to this conversation. All right, I see Loratti's back. Oh, you back mighty quick, Loratti.
Yes, Miss Jenkins. First of all, I had to go to the bathroom, but second of all, I don't play when it comes to taking these tests. I have nothing to hide, so um, no issue for me to do it.
Well, that's good to hear because some people will procrastinate when they hear they got to do this test and try to sneak off and go get what is called gold seal. try to get them a little gold seal in their system to hopefully knock out the druggy wuggies. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna go over that as well. But so far, right at the show, we talking about urinalysis tests. You either pass it or fail it. Lord have mercy.
Miss Jenkins, yeah, I figured we was gonna get a little quick show going on here, but I didn't think you guys were gonna be pissing us because we haven't had a piss test since we've been here.
Well, times are changing. That's what you got to realize. Your job may have not been doing it, but some jobs requirements change overnight, and you can come in there and find out that a job that you could work and do your marijuana all you want is now testing you. Now, when you find this information out, you got to make a decision. You got to say, well, what's more important, my job or my marijuana? Because you can't have both. You can try to beat the system all you want, but you can't have both. You go into the federal system and you're going to find out that they don't even touch the urinette anymore. They go straight for your head and look for hair. And if you ain't got no hair on your head, they go down into your pubic areas. And if you ain't got no hair there, they go underneath your armpits. And if they ain't got no hair there, they go right between the crack of your booty and get some hair from down there. Hey, don't try to fool these people. Don't try to fool them. They'll pull some hair from somewhere. Hair holds that information way longer than urine. And the feds don't play. They don't care where they get the hair from. So a lot of these companies today aren't trying to pay that kind of money for that kind of test. They'll do the urinalysis test. If you can figure some way to beat that, then good for you. But if you don't beat it, then it's not a good thing for you. Now, as we see, Bob hasn't came back yet from the urinalysis. I'm not sure what's going on. But we'll keep waiting for him as we keep talking about this. We're going to go ahead and get into this situation here. All right. So, this is a situation. Luckily, at my location, I have roommates. I rent out rooms. And it's not Miss Bahamas that's in trouble. Lord have mercy. I thought it would have been her the first one. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Miss Bahamas be smoking. Now, you people that work from home, y'all sitting there looking like y'all safe. Safe, and y'all can sit there and y'all can do y'all drugs and do your job while you working from home. But it's just a matter of these companies picking up on the fact that, you know what, these suckers might be doing drugs and on the damn phone causing havoc and causing drama in the company. They're going to end up drug testing y'all while y'all working from home. And then it's over for half of y'all. Because half of y'all think y'all tricking somebody. And I know somebody that's doing it too. I ain't going to put your name out there, Miss Bahamas, but I know somebody that's doing it out there too. Yeah, working from home and smoking weed. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to have the integrity to be able to say, I'm not going to do this while I'm on the job. Now, when I'm off work, I do what the hell I want to do. But when I'm on duty, I don't do it. And see, that's the thing. Some of these people, and I tell you right now, young folks, go to work. And because one of your peers in there talk about, let's go to the side and smoke a little of this. Then you're going to go and do it while you at work like a dummy. Who does that? Well, some of you stupid ass young folks out there is who does that. You don't do that. You don't know who's watching. You can't trust everybody at your job. In the military, we had CID people. If you don't know what that is, it's like a undercover person in the military ranks, undercover people. Yeah, they were there to try to weed out and find out information about these kind of acts. So that's why they're in there, planting into the company to try to figure out what's going on. And you don't know who to trust. You can't do that with everybody. They think that some people have the audacity to just pull out their weed and smoke it at work in a place where it's not legal. You crazy as hell. Let's go on into this right here. All right. Now, this is important right here. Disadvantages. There's some disadvantages of why you conduct yourself like this. Thinking you can have your cake and eat it too, and you cannot. Now, the person in my roommate situation right now is going through it. Going through it. Because they had an accident. Now, when you got that damn accident going on and you at work, there's a lot of things that's going to happen. These people are not going to play with you. Now, the problem with this is once you do have that accident, sometimes they have no choice but to have you go down there and give up some of that urine. And if you got to give it up at that point, you got to give it up. There ain't nobody there that can save you. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is when you go in here and you risking this, going up and down, taking chances, when you finally get in that situation and they say you are no longer needed, they are not going to give you unemployment benefits. They are not. So you thinking that, oh, well, no problem. I'll just collect unemployment for a while until I find me another job. Well, it's not going to work because most states disqualify workers fired for misconduct, and that's including failed drug tests. Yes, it's very important to know these things before you decide, okay, well, you know what? I'm still going to eat my cake, have my cake and eat it too. No problem. So, damage to reputation. Employers may view you as unreliable, unsafe. No one wants you behind a forklift if you're in this mindset and mode of difficulty finding new work. Who the hell wants to hire you? Who the hell wants to hire you? You just left your job, you had an accident, and then you didn't pass that test. They're not going to hide that information from the new employer. They're going to tell them, yep, and he also failed a drug test. Yep, they're going to say it. LORATTI, what do you think?
Oh yeah. I've been in a job force for a couple of years, and I'm zero tolerance on the drugs. My mindset is don't do it. You got to worry about any issues.
Absolutely. You just don't damn do it. Not when you have something at stake. Loss of benefits. So if you need a health insurance, and if you look at our cartoon characters here, we got we're gonna call him let's give him a good name, Leonard. Yeah, old stupid Leonard. Yeah, old stupid Leonard here. You know, wife needed that health insurance for her situation she's going through, and now she ain't got no health insurance. Retirement contributions are lost. Your leave, you supposed to be going on leave, that's gone. You don't get that. You might get paid your leave, but you're not going to have that when it's time for you to go and get paid while you're on vacation doing nothing. You can't be on vacation not have no job because you ain't getting paid if you're on vacation with no job. How the bills going to get paid? We're going to get to the bills in a second. Legal or professional consequences. That's right. When you get in an accident with your work vehicle and now they found out you was on that shit, they're not going to hold themselves responsible. They're going to say, look at this sucker right here. Look at him. This sucker right here need to pay all this bills and pay all that. We'll cover this and we'll cover that, but the rest of this stuff, we ain't covering that. This is the reason why. Now, how you going to circumvent this when they throw this in front of a judge? A judge going to look at you, look at the information, going to look at the company. Going to look at the information, going to look at you. And whatever he tells you is not going to be nice. Emotional stress. You know, you're already stressed trying not to get in the situation. Dodging and moving in ways where, they ain't caught me. They ain't caught me. They ain't caught me. They ain't caught me. Boop. But when they catch you, then what? What? Reduce references. Yep, you can't use that last supervisor. Can't use him. Can't use him. Can't use him because he's not gonna go out on a limb for you. And then you got the setbacks, and you can't do anything about the setbacks. They're there. They're going to be an issue, and it's a career issue at that. So long-term harm to your professional growth. Now, let's say you can't bounce back from it. You can bounce back from it. But the situation is one you should be trying to avoid altogether. And why? Well, these are the advantages. Why? You steady income. You ain't got to worry about, an issue where the money's not there. You've got stability and the ability to plan your future. Job security. Who wants to be wondering about where am I going to go next? If you're doing a good job where you're at and you maintain there and you follow all the rules, then you're in good shape. You're in good standing. You don't fail any tests, no violations.
Absolutely, Grandma. I mean, I was at my job for over 10 years, but I maintained a record of stability when it came to the tests we had to take, and kept that record flawless. No positive tests when it came to drugs. Even alcohol, tried to stay away from that because I have to drive a vehicle in that position. And, everyone goes to the Super Bowl parties and have fun. But if I got to, you know, work that I did night shift, so I have to work night shift. I would do as much as I could do, but wouldn't do any drinking because you go in there, you hang out that night, get through the night, but that next morning they're right there trying to give you a drug test, just in case you had took a drink before you came to work. So you have to know these things, and you have to either be loyal to them or not. And the ones that are not loyal to them are the ones that are in that risk of getting caught.
Absolutely. Now, Bob's not back yet from his drug test, and we don't know what's going on with this situation here. But I know the little man can pee because he goes to the bathroom more than I can think of anybody on the planet. Lord have mercy. So, not sure what his problem is right now. But Lord have mercy, I sure hope he won't drinking them Coronas for breakfast. He love to drink Coronas for breakfast. Make no damn sense. All right, here we go. All right. So, less stress, and you got more career opportunities with the clean record. You can go anywhere in the company. Um, Improve health and energy, better focus. That's why they want you to be clear and free, so you can be focused and alert, and your overall performance is up to par. So you don't get into any accidents. You don't get into any situations at work, and you don't cause any situations when you're alert. And drugs don't keep you alert. They just do not. Stronger relationship with your company. Yeah, coworkers and supervisors respect you. You go in there and you do something like this, so you come back to work, people look at you funny. They say, well, the company don't be quiet. People gossip. So everybody knows why you ain't at work. You one of the key players that help do the job. But by the time you get back to work, they all know why you ain't been to work. You done had an accident, and now they done found out you ain't passed the drug test. So they wondering whether you gonna be here tomorrow or not. But do they rely on you now? No, because now they gotta pull all the work that you was doing. It don't make any sense. And one thing that you have when you follow this ideology that I'm just not gonna do this while I have this job. Now you hit the lottery and you don't have to worry about that job anymore. You can smoke all the weed you want. But you can't have that job and smoke the weed you want. Some people try. Some people are successful. But you might not be that successful person. Like this person, roommate in my room right here. Now, these bills are due on the 1st, coming up. And I'm not going to waver left or right. I'm asking, where's the bill money? That's what I need to know, because your situation ain't got nothing to do with these bills that are due on the 1st. Some people don't want to hear that. Now they got the anxiety and they got all these other issues going on. They ain't happy. You know what? That ain't my damn problem. Nobody told your ass. Nobody told your ass to be living like you was living, because there's a consequence for being out of control. That's what it is. You're a grown ass person out of control. But see, when we look on the outside in, we say to ourselves, well, you know what? I know what bad things could possibly happen with this kind of behavior. Now, the problem with this is those young people around you that are using that type of behavior around you don't want to hear the X, Y's, and Z's of the conversation that would kind of veer them towards a different pathway. They don't want to hear that. They want to learn the hard way. So I don't go around retraining grown folks. I tell the grown folks what the hells they need to do when it comes to X, Y, and Z, keeping my household straight. Now, there's a consequence for me when I don't tell these suckers, look, put all this weed up. Get rid of it. because you don't need it. It's going to cause y'all to have some issues and problems that I don't want to have to deal with. One of those issues and problems is losing your job and not being able to pay your damn bills. Now, anybody with their right mind would say, you can't do it here. You find somewhere else to do it, because you find somewhere else to do it, I can't stop you. But here, I should say zero tolerance on that, because that's how serious this is. You do something like this and you get in an accident at work, you have almost jeopardized everything you work for. Now, you don't go to work in the midst of them investigating your accident, investigating your urine. You're not getting paid. You're not getting paid. Meanwhile, the bills are due. So it's a 50-50 kind of situation for me. Whether I said something or not may have been meaningless, because these people been looking at me like, we're grown, we can do what we want to do. Well, okay. All right. That's what you got to do. What you got to do. But when them bills are due, them damn bills are due.
Absolutely, Grandma. These bill collectors aren't going to care why you're not at work. Just like the TSA agents, they aren't getting paid. They don't care why they're not getting paid. Those electric bills, rent and car notes, insurance, you name it, all those bills are due. No ands, ifs, and buts about it.
All right, ZZ109FM morning show. This is Elsie Jenkins here, and 10th grade education Bob has not returned from the piss test yet. Lord have mercy. I hope he is not in a situation. Lord have mercy. All right, let's take a look at some things here. Why? Why are we even talking about this show? Why is this show more important than 8 beautiful children that got massacred in Louisiana? And it's a terrible thing that people are out here doing this to each other still, killing each other. And I don't have the whole story on these children from 1 to 14-year-olds that lost their life, but this can't be a good situation. It cannot. All right, so let's look at this thing here. Why people are knowingly doing this, going in the room, sitting back, getting their little I seen them too. They get their little thing situated on the table, got their little papers they done got from the smoke shop, and they sitting there getting it together. Got their little techniques and everything, and it gets the rolling, and it gets the licking, and it gets the rolling, gets the licking, and then it gets it right the way they want it. Then they box it the hell on up and go into whatever temporary zone they go into. And they're taking the dogs with them too, because the dogs in there getting high as hell as well. Makes no damn sense, but that's what they do. Lord have mercy. Now, why some people knowingly risk using drugs while employed? Don't make any sense. Short-term thinking beats long-term consequences. Many people focus on right now, and that's what that individual issue is that's in trouble now with the accident and the drug tests that he had to take. He made that comment. I'm about right now. I ain't worrying about the future right away. I'm doing me right now. I'm just trying to do now. I just listen to it and I say that's the weed talking. That's all it is. Because it makes no sense that that's your mindset on how you need to do things. Oh my goodness. Stress relief, habit, and coping, and the future risk feels distant or unlikely. And that's a misconception, because it is absolutely likely that something's going to happen, because you're constantly in this state. Now, if you're in this state one time a month, that's different. But if you're constantly in there, constantly smoking, constantly on this level, then you're giving yourself more chances to get caught, more chances to find yourself in a situation. That's the disadvantage. Belief they won't get caught. Yeah, okay. They won't test me. They test everybody else, but they won't. That's stupid. You mean they ain't gonna test you? You're a black person, first of all. The first place they gonna test is the black people. They ain't gonna test the white people right away. But they sure know we got problems and issues. So they're gonna test us. Oh, I have time to clean up. Clean up what? Your urine is dirty. It's dirty. I mean, we talked about the golden seal a little bit, but we going to get on that in a minute. But there's a misconception about that golden seal. Every smoking Negroid has a bottle in their pocket like it's gonna save them, but it's not. And I've passed tests before, so you're getting a false confidence. That's all it is. And you're gonna walk around with that golden seal, and you'll find out the right one's gonna get your ass, and you're gonna be out of work. Addiction changes decision making. Of course, it makes it. I know this. This is common sense for those of us that realize this. When you're on that weed, you can't make good decisions. When you're on drugs, you can't make good decisions. Your brain, the logic is abruptly destroyed. You have no logic, no consequences, and no real concern about your job security. It's simply a choice at that point. And then your peers, whether it's someone telling you to do it or you're doing it yourself, it don't matter. The answer should be no. Either way you look at it. Either way you look at it, the answer should be no. All right, so let's keep it going. Stress, anxiety, and pain. Well, you was already stressing. Probably stressing because you were thinking you might get caught. Anxiety or pain. Some use substances to cope with long hours, physical pain, personal problems, mental health issues. People without drugs deal with those same things. People not on drugs deal with them same issues and don't use drugs to get around them. So you're just making an excuse. Oh, you needed to function. Okay, well, you try using it and functioning when you ain't got no job. Then what? You're in the same situation. Damn way. Misconceptions about detox products, and that's what we're talking about here. People believe myths like this drink will clean me out. I can beat the test. These products don't work reliably, but the brief belief that it works is giving them a false sense of confidence, and that's all it's doing. And then people are making money off of this shit too, overestimating their job security. Yeah, you're an excellent worker. This person is the best worker out of all the workers at his job. So yeah, if you think that they're gonna keep you because you're doing all the effed up jobs that the white people won't do, and that's his situation. He had a good lawsuit. He's the only black person working there, and they're giving him all the jobs that don't require pay. Now, number one, I believe that's a violation of the federal law in regards to wages. All day long, this company is paying him nothing to go do warranty calls. So they give him all the damn warranty calls, and after a whole day of 10 hours of work, 3/4 of the day he don't get paid. He only gets paid for that 1/4, so it doesn't look so bad. It's against the law. They can't not pay you to go somewhere and spend your time. They cannot. It's against the damn law. But tried to explain that in a sense to get this person to go and get himself together for a lawsuit, and the weed just helped him weed out the reasons why to do it. Everything. Weed, it was an explanation as to why, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Messed up his pay, half-ass paying him. And then been there for over a year and a half and has no leave days. How the hell you don't have no leave days? Because they're doing this on purpose. They're cheating him on purpose because they can. Because, number one, he's just not smart enough to do anything about it. And they're thinking, well, by the way, all of the rest of our workers here can be on Easy Street when they get paid. They get all the jobs where they get money jobs. And we can throw all the warranty and the not so desirable calls to him. And that's the situation. So now, to me, it's a good thing because who are they going to call now to go do all those warranty calls since he's not there? Who are they going to call? It's going to be interesting because they have no more black people there to help them. No more black people. So to me, it's a blessing and a curse because you got away from the situation where they won't half-ass paying you, but the way you got out of it, you got nothing out of the whole situation. When you could have been paid for life if you would have sued those people. And these people at this position, this job, they were calling him the N-word and calling him monkeys and calling him all kinds of things. I said, son, you got a good lawsuit here. All you have to do is gather the information. But you know what? The weed wouldn't let him gather it. Couldn't focus on that. Had his focus on the weed. Well, you know what? You got treated like an animal for nothing. You got degraded and belittled down to an animalistic level for nothing. And it's sad to look at you and see your situation. ZZ109FM, this is Elsie Jenkins. This is the morning show here, special show here, talking about you people out here that want to just get high and think you can go to work and keep dodging them bullets. Well, eventually one of them bullets might just graze you. But if it grazes you, there's a whole process they have to follow. And one of those processes might be urinalysis. And if you have to take a urinalysis and you ain't even thought about that, and you've been smoking the hell out of weed, you in trouble. You in serious trouble. And that's where we are. The ending result here is denial. You know, they convinced themselves it won't happen to me. I'll stop before the next test. I'm in control. But the evidence that I saw was undeniable. You have people in there going off every other day, if not every day, smoking weed, getting high. And I'm like, anybody that does it every day, you give yourself no window to not be in that mode if something happens. And something did happen. That truck he was driving somehow hit the back of another car. And I think it was a scam because it was a green light. She drove up and then she hit her brakes. Maybe she knew that this was a sucker. And guess what? The truck hit the back of her car and now she's smiling all the way to the bank. 21-year-old girl. Well, this 21-year-old girl, you better watch her because she got her one. She got her a good lawsuit. She should have went to the hospital and pissed on herself because she would have got a nice little chunk of change from his company. Which once they go that route, they definitely don't need you no more. They definitely don't need you, and they might put some of that blame on you because you was driving with a little bit of it was red piss. Lord have mercy. Yeah, the red piss coming out. What's that red piss? Lord have mercy. All right, Grandma, you had a good time over here. We don't know what happened to Bob. Bob has not came back yet from the urinalysis. And I'm concerned for him. I'm not sure what's going on. But we're not going to go check on him because we don't want to be associated with Bob if he's in trouble. But he's our buddy, man. My goodness. Anyway, these piss tests, you got to take them seriously. A lot of times they won't let you know they're going to happen. And when they happen, they're not going to let you leave. You have to stay in that area until you give them some urine. And once they test it, I mean, hopefully you're like me. It didn't matter what they did. Any urine you get from me is going to have nothing in it because I'm not doing nothing. And that's the way you want to roll. Urine, clear, and free. They can think what they want to, assume what they want to. And I used to get tested a lot for whatever reason. But I used to get tested a lot as if I was out there doing something. But it didn't matter because I wasn't. So whenever they test me, I was glad. That was the free hour or two we got for overtime. But my piss was straight. Now, one thing you got to understand is guilt by association. So if you're in a room with people smoking marijuana, your urine could test positive. And that's something to be mindful of if you around people that smoke it. It's something that can happen, and you got to be mindful to not be around those kind of people if you're one to get tested. So we're going to go ahead and break off of this beautiful show here. It's just here to give you some insight. I mean, if this doesn't apply to you, then that's a good thing. You understand you have something in your life that's more important than smoking marijuana. But if you're, working a job, a good job at that, and you're still trying to smoke marijuana, you're really, really taking chances. You may be getting away with it, like some people are getting away with it for whatever reason. But this is this problem that you just can't have your cake and eat it too kind of thing.
It's just a matter of time before something happens where, you know, it changes everything. And you want to avoid that. You want to avoid that opportunity to be in that moment, because when you're in that moment, there's no one can help you. No one on the planet can help you. You in your work truck, you're just trying to get through the week, and then Monday, here you are in the back of someone's car. Now, if you could just go back and think about all the shit you've just did in the last month, you wish you weren't there right then. You wish you could be anywhere else on the planet, but right there as a state trooper drives up on you, and kind of seals your fate with that traffic stop. ZZ109FM, hottest radio station on the planet. It's your boy Loratti. Miss Elsie Jenkins is here. Drug testing, you know what? Just don't do them. And if you're working a job, that'll keep you clear and free from any kind of urinalysis test, whether you have an accident or not. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And remember, if you lose your job in this manner, there's a lot of times you're not going to get unemployment. So don't assume that that's a backup for you to get out of that job, because that's a violation that they can send to the employment agency to say, hey, this person, not only did they, maybe had an accident, the cause of the accident maybe because they tested positive for drugs. And now they're going to say willingly, yeah, no violation, no unemployment. They're happy not to give it to you. Who knows what happens to that money? But you're not gonna get it for sure. All right. Blessings to all of you guys out there. Be safe. Look over your back, and whatever you can do to help someone, on this planet, help them. Because we don't know what people are going through, but it's got to be on a level to make people want to get a gun and shoot up their own family members. We got to get a grip on this. We've got to figure out how to help each other, and get the stress of this, because a lot of stress is going on with people today. With the high bills, job. You got to keep your job, taking care of a family. If you got that under your belt too, there's got to be much more pressure right now. Gas prices, having the fuel money to go to work. If you can help out a family member or a friend in any way, I think it alleviates some amount of stress that this government does not have a clue as to how it feels or what it's like, with deep pockets. They don't know. But we understand. So do the best you can to help one another out there, because you're doing a favor that is needed for someone that needs help. All right. Don't know what happened to Bob. Hope he still has a job here. But we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving and keep creating honest and amazing content for all of you beautiful listeners out there. All right. ZZ109FM, hottest radio station on the planet. It's your boy Loratti. You guys take care. Peace.